Is it difficult for you to trust again after a separation, divorce, or a long term relationship? Well, stay tuned because I'm going to give you the keys to help you learn how to trust again after a long term relationship. Stay tuned. Welcome to my channel. Andrea M. Stuckey, the divorce liberator, your favorite divorce coach. Listen, today we are going to be talking about trust. Yes, trust, because trust is difficult when you're moving into new relationships. If you have been hurt in the past, if you've been abused in the past, if you've come out of a tumultuous long-term relationship. Ask me how I know, right? Ask me how I know. I know all too well, okay? So not only have I been divorced twice, you hear me say that over and over and over again, but listen, I've been out here in the dating space for almost 12 years. And I've had some relationships, I've had some, some trials and meeting people and understanding and learning more and more about myself. So today I want to share some things with you about learning to trust again after that long-term relationship. So listen, trust takes time to build. It takes time to build. It takes years, really. Think about your past relationships, long-term relationships, marriages, whatever that was, right? And how much effort you perhaps had to put into trusting that individual, and not just trusting them, but them trusting you as well, right? You begin to build. Trust is a foundational piece of a healthy relationship. And you really can't have a healthy relationship if you're not able to trust your mate, right? And so I know you may be saying, Andrea, listen, I've been hurt, I've been cheated on, I've been mishandled, all these things, right? But at the end of the day, that's why your healing is so important. It's so important for you to heal, get past those, those hurts of past relationships before you jump into another relationship. Because what happens is you just bring it from one space to another space to another space. Again, ask me how I know, right? So I left, a lot of the hurts and pains I had in my first marriage. I didn't heal, I didn't deal with. And so I brought those into my second marriage. And then we created some of our own, and we had this, super mess, right? We had this big mess. But I have some things I want to share with you on today, and hopefully they'll be helpful to you, right? Because we all love love. If we're all honest with ourselves, regardless of what we've been through, our desire is we want to be loved. That's part of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? We want to be included, we want to be wanted, we want to be loved, and there's nothing wrong with that. Right? But we want it done in a healthy way. We want it done in a happy way. And let me just say this. No relationship is perfect because we are imperfect people. And we have to remember that. And I think a lot of times we're looking for things in others that we don't even have ourselves, if we're honest with ourselves. And so rule number one really is that we have to learn how to trust ourselves. Can we keep commitments to ourselves? Right? Because the more that we trust ourselves in being able to take care of ourselves and keep our commitments to ourselves, it's much easier to trust other people. And then, of course, if they're not trustworthy, then we handle it when that happens, right? But we don't have to go around in fear and wondering and challenging and, snooping and doing all these crazy things. When there hasn't been a need to do that. Okay? Hasn't been a need to do that. So listen, trust takes years to build, seconds to break, and forever to repair. That's a quote I found. Listen, let me say it again. Trust takes years to build, seconds to break, and forever to repair. So remember that. Remember that from your space. Right? As you're moving forward, as you're thinking about relationships, or perhaps you're dating, whatever the case may be, think about it from your own perspective, how you have to be trustworthy as well, right? Because when we do things that no matter how big or small, that sort of taint the trust for the other person, then it takes us more time to rebuild and repair that relationship as well, right? Trust is a necessary component of healthy relationships. Trust provides freedom. Let me say it again. Trust provides freedom. When you trust your mate, when they trust you, you are free to move, free to go, free to have fun, free to do your activities with them or without them. You have built that, and there's nothing worse than being in a relationship where you feel bound. You feel bound up, like you can't do anything because this person doesn't trust you. And let me tell you, I've had that situation happen when I've been out here dating. This has been many years ago, but I was sort of new to dating, and trust was an issue. This person had been that I was dating had trust issues, had some challenges in the past, and brought them into our relationship. And it's not fun. It's not fun being with an insecure person, especially when you know that you're trustworthy. Now, it's different if you know that you're not trustworthy. If you know that you're not doing the right thing, then that person's on to you. But when you know that you are being honest, open, and you have someone who's insecure, it is not fun. It is not fun. So when you have the trust, it brings about freedom. It brings about security, a greater level of intimacy it brings, right? And this is what you want and need in a healthy, whole relationship, right? And you deserve that, right? You definitely deserve that. So when you enter a relationship with a trust issue, you're on defense, not offense. So think about that. When you go into a relationship, you're on defense all the time. Are they going to hurt me? Are they going to do this? Are they going to, cheat on me, call somebody, get back with their ex? You're on defense. And when you're on defense, listen, you can't score. You only score when you're on offense, right? Think about it. When you're on offense, we'll use basketball as an example, right? Because my oldest played a lot of basketball growing up. You get to see what's happening. You have control of the ball, and you get to make the play. You get to call the play, right? You get to run the play, right? But you don't get to do that on defense. And so when you come in a relationship, not trusting, on defense, you can't relax, you can't have fun, and you can't score in the game. Right? You can't focus on scoring, which, would be moving along in the relationship. You're going to be stuck in that defensive state. And that's not a place you want to be in a relationship. If you desire for that relationship to grow and to bloom, that's just really not what you want. So I want you to remember that on today, right? Remember, if you're on defense, you're going to be insecure, you're going to be codependent. You don't want that in a relationship. If you're looking for that happy, whole relationship, you want to be on offense, not on defense. Trust, honesty, commitment, and commitment are some of the pillars of a healthy relationship, right? Communication is another. Remember that. Trust, honesty, communication, and commitment. You got to have those components. So you have to be open and honest. And listen, if you're challenged in that area, let your mate know. Let the person that you're dating, not on the first and second date, right? But once you're exclusive, make them aware of some of the challenges, because healing takes time, right? And let them know that what you're dealing with. And hopefully in the background, you're getting yourself some help, whether that's with a coach, with a therapist, a counselor, or you're reading some books in those areas that you've been mishandled or, been through abuse or whatever the situation may be, so that you can grow, right? And then you can be an asset to the relationship. Right. So remember that on today. I just wanted to come and talk about that a little bit, because I think it's so important that as we move out of these long-term relationships, we do desire to be loved. If we're honest, we love love. Now, it doesn't mean we're going to love it at any cost. I know for me, it's not an option. I love this girl first, right? However, it's one of those needs that we like, we want, and we desire, right? Depending on whatever stage you are. It doesn't mean that you're necessarily ready if you've just gotten out of a long-term relationship. It just depends on your situation. But I want you to think about those pillars. I want you to think about the trusting aspect as you're moving into a long-term relationship. And hopefully you can, take some of these nuggets, begin to apply them in your life, whether you're single or in a relationship. And hopefully the relationship that you desire can bloom, right? And it can be very happy and healthy for you. So again, I am Andrea M. Stuggy, the Divorce Liberator. Listen, make sure you like and subscribe to this channel, share out this broadcast, and let me know what you want to hear about. In the comment section, was there anything helpful? Any points that, resonated with you? Do you have an experience? Or would you like to learn about something else? Listen, I'm a two-time divorcee. I have worked with women for over 7 years in the background. I've heard all the stories. I know what goes down. If I haven't experienced myself from an abuse perspective, co-parenting, blending families, all those things, I have definitely worked and consulted and coached with women over the past almost 7 years. It's my jam. It is definitely my jam, a space that I love. So leave a comment below. Let me know if there's a topic that you want to hear about, and I will greatly abide. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you next time.